Cristiano Ronaldo knew that despite all the championships he had experienced and the records he had broken, he was still not loved the same way in every corner of the world. But he believed that football should leave its mark not only on the scoreboard, but also on hearts. So, he flew to Rosario without any media announcement for a children's football academy event to be held in Argentina. It was in the city where Messi was born, but not in his shadow. He was there for the children's future. No one greeted him at the airport. He didn't want it to be that way anyway. He quietly passed to the hotel, prepared to take part in the event. However, a group organized via social media had already gathered in front of the hotel where he was staying. They had banners in their hands. "We don't want it in Messi's country. Just one legend is enough. You're not here, Ronaldo." At first, he found it difficult to understand these protests. He just wanted to help the kids. He had not come to rival anyone. But the media quickly bubbled up this situation. The headlines, "Ronaldo has confused Argentina," began to spread on social media, along with thousands of negative comments. Ronaldo remained silent. He did not appear in front of the cameras, did not make a statement. He asked for dinner in his room. He sighed quietly as he watched outside from the hotel window. People were still shouting downstairs, shouting, "Go away." But Ronaldo did not leave, because he knew why he was coming. At 23:30 that night, he left the hotel in a simple tracksuit top. He took a taxi to the street where the children's football academy is located. Security was off, but there was a small gap at the back of the academy. He entered quietly. A boy was playing ball on the field by himself. He had a Messi jersey on. The boy noticed him. His eyes flashed, but he approached timidly. It was as if he knew Ronaldo but couldn't be sure. Then he asked, "Why are you sad?" Ronaldo was silent for a moment. He could not answer. He just stroked the boy's head. He pulled a jersey out of his pocket. He left it quietly at the door of the academy building. He had only attached the following note to it. "Football is more than scoring goals. It does not belong to enmity and hatred, but to friendship and love. See Ronaldo." He returned to the hotel without informing anyone. He did not look at social media during the night. The time of his flight was 9:45 in the morning. At 7 a.m. in the morning, she packed her things and went down to the reception. While picking up his suitcase, he took another look at the Messi poster hanging on the wall in the lobby of the hotel. At that moment, there was only one thought in his head. "People may not know me, but if I touch their children, I won't need to tell my true story." But at that time, there was something strange in the lobby of the hotel. The employees seemed excited. They were gathered around a television screen. Ronaldo approached quietly. His eyes are fixed on the screen. The uniform from the academy. His note. It had all been shared on social media in the early hours of the morning. That little boy had given the note to his teacher, and the teacher had forwarded it to a local journalist. And now that word was spreading all over the country, trending on Twitter. Ronaldo was right. Thousands of posts on Instagram. "We got him wrong." The news channels were talking live about Ronaldo's silence. Different banners were now being carried on the street. "Football does not separate, it unites." "We apologize to Ronaldo. You embarrassed us, but we loved you." Ronaldo looked down from the hotel window. The anger that had risen from the same place the previous night had now turned into love mixed with regret. At that moment, he just watched, doing nothing. His eyes misted up. He had received many reactions all his life, but for the first time he had touched the heart of a country with just one sentence. Countless messages were coming to his phone. Former teammates, rival footballers, journalists, even some Argentine players were sending messages of support. No one had asked him to apologize, but he had used the power of silence. An attendant came to the room and took his suitcase. It was time to go to the plane. When he landed in the lobby, the employees were standing. There was respect and embarrassment in their eyes. When he came out of the door, he was surprised at first. Yesterday, the crowd shouting with hatred was replaced by people applauding and crying. Children were on top of the car that was going to carry him, shouting Ronaldo's name. A mother had lit a banner in the hands of her child. "We're not against you, we just didn't know you." Ronaldo got into the car with tears in his eyes. As the car moved forward, the crowd rushed after it. He didn't say anything. He just opened the window and winked at that little boy. The boy was waving at him. He had Messi's jersey on his shoulder, but Ronaldo's smile on his face. As we were driving along, the following sentence of the announcer was echoed on the radio. "Maybe the greatest players in this world are the ones who won the greatest humanity, not the greatest trophies." Ronaldo leaned his head against the glass. People were still cheering outside. Some of the children following the car seemed to celebrate him with torches in their hands. At that moment, Ronaldo realized the power of what he had achieved with his silence. Winning in a country began not on the field, but in humanity. He was greeted at the airport like a special passenger. No one asked for an interview. No one held a camera. They were escorted to the plane with only a silent send-off. When Ronaldo boarded the plane, he felt completely relieved for the first time. It was as if he had left not only Argentina, but also an unseen burden that he had been carrying for a long time. As the plane made its way to the runway, a banner dangled from the roof of the terminal. "The real great football player is the one who plays at Hearts." This word woke up a child who had been shut up for years inside Ronaldo. The streets where he had played ball in Madeira in his youth, his mother's worried looks, the resistance he had learned during his father's absence, all passed through his mind in an instant. He didn't feel like someone who knew what he was going through. He felt like he was still that kid. The sky was clear when the plane took off. When he looked over the clouds, the streets of Argentina, full of broken roofs, no longer seemed cold to him. On the contrary, some of the warmest hearts he had ever known were there now. Months later, that shirt left by Ronaldo was hung at the entrance of the Children's Academy in Rosario. Under it was placed the following inscription: "One sentence can change a country." And the boy who played ball on the field that night in a Messi shirt said in an interview years later that, "I didn't want to be a football player, until a man came along and just looked and smiled." Ronaldo, on the other hand, has never told about this incident. But one day, in a speech to young players, he said only the following sentence: "The quietest moment in football is sometimes the loudest applause, and sometimes a single sentence. It silences an entire country, then makes it talk together again. Sometimes what a goal, what a trophy, just acting like a human being changes the world." Since that day, everyone in Argentina has learned one thing: real stars shine not with their light, but with compassion in their shadows.